Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about one of the most important positions from the bottom perspective in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that's half guard. Specifically, underhook half guard. When I started learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I completely underestimated half guard. I only focused on closed guard, and because of that, my ability to work up from the bottom positions was hindered, and it was basically submission hunting from the guard. As I started using underhook half guard and implementing this extremely important detail, I went from being able to sometimes get a sweep from guard to being able to reliably get a sweep from half guard. Before we get into the details of underhook half guard, first we're going to talk about some of the most important situations where you'd be able to use underhook half guard. You can pull half guard, which is going to be a lot quicker and more reliable than like jumping to close guard. Like you see Damian Maia does it a lot in MMA. It's very difficult to pull close guard in MMA, and that's why he does it there. It's only more difficult. Another thing that underhook half guard's excellent for is keeping you so close to your opponent that it's hard for them to punch you, which is extremely important in MMA and self-defense. In sports situations, the punching isn't as relevant, but the posture effect still remains the same. Your ability to lean on your partner is much greater if you're close. So now let's get into some examples and some of the details on the in-betweens of what makes it effective and some of the things you can go for the whole time during the sequences. Entering into it from the high knee shield position, one thing we have to make sure of is that the frames of our high knee shield can maintain that half guard for the time that we need to set up the underhook. Pressure with the frame in front of the neck, hand at like the trap back of the shoulder, knee high to the shoulder, and then it's our foot position at the bottom. Make sure that you have your low foot connected so that when you have to pummel your foot to the inside to create the space to bring the heel outside of the knee, it's more reasonable. In regards to your underhooks, you're going to want either a very low or a very high underhook during your transfer from low to high position. Keeping your hand at the hip while that happens can get you caught in a darce, and keeping your elbow too far out can get you caught in a wrist trap position. Arm high or arm low, head position under the chin, leaning on your partner, like into the pec. So if they go to drive into you or push your head, you can resist that and go for a sweep. In regards for going for the underhook half guard where your opponent goes for a knee cut, make sure to pinch your knees, catch their low foot, move yourself underneath them, and here you can pull at the hip because you're not fighting to turn on top. Bringing your head over the body as you transfer to maintain. Here's a bunch of examples of bringing the heel outside of the knee, which is a major part. This is the most critical point, essentially, of weakening your partner's ability to resist towards you. Once you bring that heel outside of the knee, going away is how they have to go to maintain a strong body alignment. Otherwise, they're fighting over an awkward leg. You can post to the hand. If at any moment your partner posts their hand on the floor, what you have to do is go for their back. You can switch back and forth between turning up and going for the back, depending on if they have an overhook, whizzer, or posting on the floor. But depending on which one of these they do, one of those answers will be incredibly easy. So if you can create the post on the floor during a roll, swim your arm up along the body and follow to the back.